Remember Sarah Palin, the lady that apparently won a lottery ticket to try and be vice president when John McCain had a momentary lapse of sanity? Well, she's back. In 2011, Palin's super PAC sent out this disturbing image, a map telling her violent and horrible supporters the names of some House Democrats who happened to vote for Obamacare, with the all-caps message, quote, "It's time to take a stand." The location of each member of Congress was marked with crosshairs on a map. And then she tweeted out this foreboding message, quote, "Common sense conservatives and lovers of America, don't retreat, instead reload. Please see my Facebook page," directing people to that map. One of the names on that list was Arizona Representative Gabby Gifford, who found herself in someone else's crosshairs, those of Jared Loughner, a white Tea Party terrorist who for years had hated Giffords because he didn't like her answer when she asked her an anti-government question at a town hall. That maniacal terrorist killed a 9-year-old and a district court judge, as well as 4 other Americans, though Representative Giffords miraculously survived gunshot wounds to her head. And Jared was able to shoot so many people because the Republicans and the NRA have turned America into a supermarket of assault weaponry, where you can buy 5,000 rounds of ammo at the neighborhood Walmart. But I digress. Back to the tragedy known as Sarah Palin. Back when Palin posted this social media bounty on congressmen's heads, with crosshairs on their districts, an opinion article in the New York Times stated that this was evidence of a clear link between right-wing rhetoric and political violence. Because, duh, if you put crosshairs on people and send it out to your radical, violent Tea Party terrorist supporters, then some nutjob is going to get a gun and start shooting people, given a long enough timeline. Those aren't surveyors' crosshairs. They're crosshairs you see when you look down the scope of a gun. So, in what appears to be a coordinated right-wing conservative attack on the First Amendment freedom of the press, which includes Sean Hannity at Fox News and even Donald Trump himself, Sarah Palin has filed a lawsuit against the New York Times and other outlets who held her accountable for this despicable act, alleging that, quote, "speculative and unsubstantiated rumors hurt her personally and professionally." Here's what her specious lawsuit states, quote, "Among other things, it led to the end of her position as a Fox News political commentator, influenced her decision not to run for president of the United States, and tainted her personally and professional image. It took Mrs. Palin years to overcome the detrimental impacts of the false speculation that she caused Loughner to commit murder." But here's the problem for Palin. Right after that shooting happened, she hastily removed the image from the internet. An interesting move for someone who claims her post was not violent in the least. I'm sure a jury of your peers will totally understand that the timing of that was purely coincidental. The New York Times is also partially to blame for this lawsuit, as they acquiesced to her demand for a correction instead of planting their feet firmly on the ground of journalistic integrity. But they may have covered their bases for this inevitable specious lawsuit from Palin claiming that she was libeled. And guess what she's asking for in damages? $75,000. Now, if this ruined your presidential aspirations and your ability to score another TV show parading around your trailer park pool of a family, surely it would be worth more than $75K. But that's what reveals the lie of this lawsuit. You see, the legal bills for her and for the New York Times will likely be more than the $75K that Palin is pursuing. So the lawsuit is designed to get them to settle. Palin, Trump, Hannity, and the rest of the right-wing deplorables will then use this settlement as a tacit admission that the big bag media is so unfair to conservatives. And then they get to play their favorite game. Oppressor plays the victim. Then, when they've drummed up enough contempt for the news media among their confederacy of dunces who are helping them pave the road to hell for our republic, they'll try to pass laws silencing the press and putting journalists in jail for speaking the truth. That's how authoritarianism works. And if the road to authoritarianism and anti-media lawsuits gets stopped in its tracks by an effective American resistance, that's you, then don't be surprised if some of these right-wing nutjobs put up a map of America's newsrooms with crosshairs on them. Because violence is what these malicious, right-wing Tea Party terrorists always resort to when they can no longer defend their ideas with their words. I'm Ryan Clayton, this is Content News. Come back daily for the news where we're free to share the truth.